Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, strong style, cinephile, reigning, defending AIWF America's heavyweight champion, of course. So we got a flurry of DCU casting. So let's geek about it for a scant few minutes. Now we already know who's going to be Superman and Lois in James Gunn's Superman Legacy, which comes to us 2 years from now. But earlier today, word dropped, I don't know if it was today or late last night or something like that, but word dropped recently that he's going to have Mr.Terrific, Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, and apparently Metamorpho in Superman Legacy. And when questioned about it, he said that they fit the story. Everything to him is about fitting the story. So these other heroes fit the story that he's telling about this established Superman. We've already been told we're not going to revisit the origin, which everybody should know at this point. We're not going to spend like 20 minutes of screen time on that. He's going to be Superman. He's going to be established, and he's just trying to balance out being Clark Kent and being Kal-El and being Superman and what that brings to the overall story. We don't know who's going to be the villain yet. Some people are kind of waiting on the casting for Lex Luthor. Part of me, just going back to a story that a write-up that I read earlier today about the mistake that was made in that writer's opinion of bringing Lex Luthor into Superman and Lois at the tail end of season 3 and basically having him be in all of the shortened final series last season for the series season. We've seen Lex in tons and tons of times. Of course, most recently on Superman and Lois. We've also seen him played to perfection for one episode by Titus Welliver on Titans, that crap show. Seen him played by John Cryer in the Arrowverse. Seen him played crappily by Jesse Eisenberg in the Snyderverse. Seen him played by Kevin Spacey in Superman Returns. Seen him played by Michael Rosenbaum in Smallville. Seen him played by John Shea in Lois and Clark: The Adventures of Superman. Seen him played by Gene Hackman in the Christopher Reeve movies. Saw him in the old Superboy show, if you ever saw that. And of course, we've heard him played by Clancy Brown for a number of years in the animated universe. So we've seen a lot of Lex Luthor. There are other villains out there for Superman to face other than Lex Luthor. So I really hope with Superman Legacy that they don't go the Luthor route. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about casting. Of course, James Gunn is just a loyal dude to the core, and he will cast people that he's been in, who have been in a bunch of his, projects. So first on deck, Nathan Fillion, who was in the Suicide Squad, who has voiced Hal Jordan a number of times. A lot of people kind of fan casted as Hal Jordan for a live action film, but he's apparently going to play Guy Gardner. And I kind of to me, Guy Gardner does not scream, Nathan Fillion does not scream Guy Gardner. Can he be a douchebag? Sure, but just visually, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm picturing like a bowl cut ginger for Guy Gardner, because that's what he is. I just don't see Fillion in that role. I'll wait to be impressed by it, and I could be blown away, depending upon how much involvement he's in the film. But at first blush, I know some people I've seen like the casting and stuff like that. I'm not really blown away by it at first blush. I could be wrong. When it happens, we'll all find out together, right? It remains to be seen. Isabella Merced will play Hawkgirl, and she's actually going to appear in Madam Web as Anya Corazon. And also, Edie Gathegi, probably butchering his name, will play Mr. Terrific. And Gathegi was Darwin in X-Men First Class, who famously was in the movie for however long, and then, of course, the black dude's always got to die in these movies, and he dies. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie, which you should at this point. But the addition of Hawkgirl, I'm cool with. I loved the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited cartoons, so having some Hawkgirl in on their eventual Justice League, I'm all for it. I love Mr. Terrific, the comic book character. It was okay what they tried to do in the Arrowverse with Mr. Terrific and how he started, and then kind of how he progressed to kind of being a little bit better, but not really. So I'm anxious to kind of see how James Gunn tackles Mr. Terrific in his DCU going forth. So that's what we've got. We've also got Anthony Corrigan has been cast as Metamorpho. So, I mean, I'll throw the picture up there. You've seen this guy on Gotham and some other show, lots of other shows. Barry, I think he's on that show. he's got one of those faces that you've seen him be a hench guy, a killer, and just varied roles. You know you've seen him in some stuff. So Metamorpho, Rex Mason, curious to kind of see his involvement in things. And I'd seen in one write-up that they're kind of rushing on some of the casting because there's a possible SAG-AFTRA strike that could commence tonight on, as I'm recording this, July 12th at midnight. Once that happens, if it does, then negotiations, all that kind of stuff has to stop. So they're kind of trying to hammer out some stuff now before any potential strike kind of throws things off. But Superman Legacy is going to be filled with other heroes that are established. We're not just trying to do origin stuff on these characters. They're going to be there and be around. So I'm kind of curious to kind of see what James Gunn has in store. Again, it's like, are people going to have time for it? Are people going to have patience for it? Are people going to have the desire to see it? Because once again, we're rebooting Superman again. We're rebooting this universe again. So he's got his work cut out for him. He's got a track record of being successful with what he's done with Guardians of the Galaxy and some other of his projects. But this remains to be seen what he brings to the table with this, and if he succeeds or not in the whole Superman fatigue thing and everything, or superhero fatigue that people keep talking about. It remains to be seen. The casting stuff is exciting. I'm excited to see a live-action Hawkgirl, a live-action Mr.Terrific on the big screen. Feeling Fillion as Guy Gardner, but it is what it is. Seeing some Green Lantern stuff on the big screen outside of like Ryan Reynolds' disastrous movie. Cool. I guess we'll just find out how all this stuff just fits in the DCU blender and where it goes. But I don't know. Those are my thoughts on it. Scattered as they often are. What do you guys out there think? Leave them in the comments below. Follow me on social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Until next time, of course, let us geek.